Hi everyone, happy Monday morning. This is a little message about why it's important to support women, the woman in yourself and the women outside of yourself. And the reason is that women are very often driven towards love, towards giving love, towards creating loving surroundings, towards creating loving relationships, towards also receiving love, of course. But I think that the most women really want to. Their problem when they don't have a partner is who to give their love. Women are so inclined towards giving love and sharing love and letting love go around. And that's not all women, but it's the feminine in all of us. So you'll see it often in women, but of course it's also present in men and all other genders. And at this time in history, when you look at the news, you just scroll down for 1 hour, or you go to your workplace and you look around and see the problems we have, or you go out in nature and see the problems we have in nature. If you look everywhere you look, you can see that there's so much trouble that we now need to solve, that we need a solution that really is effective and that will really work. And to find that solution, we need to look at what's the missing ingredient. If you look at all those problems, what's the missing ingredient in war, in conflict, in devastation of Mother Earth, in disharmonious relationships, in the war between the genders? What's the missing ingredient in all these situations? It's all about lack of love. That's just what it is. It's as simple as that. This is my son calling, so I'm allowing him to interrupt my live broadcast because of love. So it's just interesting to see. It's actually so simple. We have under prioritized that force for good that is the solutions to all of our problems with ourselves, our imposter syndromes, our lack of self-worth, our lack of self-esteem, and the problem between us, that we're not compassionate towards each other, we don't forgive each other, we don't forgive ourselves, we're not compassionate towards ourselves. We block love because we're too busy doing all kinds of other things. We don't prioritize love. So we think it's more important to earn money and to be productive than to love and have good relationships. It's just really striking. I looked at the news this morning. I was like, we're so busy. We're so busy obstructing love. We're so busy keeping love away from our doorstep. And it's silly because love is the solution. And I know I'm saying something extremely banal, and if all songs are about this, it's not new and it's not particularly genius, but what we need to get now is that we need to get it. We need to really understand it. We need to really let it sink in. And that's why I think it's important to prioritize the feminine within you and without you, because one thing I can say for sure about the feminine is that the feminine is driven towards love. Love, love, and more love. It's so driven towards love, it will go out of its way for love. It will bend over backwards. It will travel to the furthest part of the world. It will do anything. Just look at what love makes us do. Love makes us do really irrational things, but it's for the force of good. So I really encourage us to support the feminine within us and without us, because that's where the solution to all our problems is. I'm actually also inspired by Einstein. Apparently he wrote his letters to his daughters were just released, and he writes a lot about love, and I'd like to make another video about that, because it's really, really fascinating what one of our greatest scientists has discovered when looking at energy and looking at how the universe works. And of course, it's not the only one, because we have all the indigenous cultures talking about the same phenomenon, that we are all connected through this web of love. Perhaps it's just as simple as that. So maybe it's today that we dedicate the day to love, to see where that takes us. And if it works today, we can do it again tomorrow. And if it works, we can do it on the third day, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh, and just see where that takes us. We have never experimented with that on a mass level. For real. We did it in 68, and that taught us a lot. And now we're like in a more mature 68. It's like a more mature time to integrate what we learned, and also to avoid all the traps. So I just think it's an experiment that is worth undertaking in the smallest, tiniest way. Where am I unloving myself? Where I'm not being loving towards myself? And just that tiny little adjustment to a little bit more love towards myself. And then where am I not being loving towards others? Just that tiny little adjustment. Where can I be a little bit more loving towards others? And where am I not being loving towards my purpose and prioritizing it and giving it attention? Just that little adjustment. How can I give it a little bit more attention? How can I just adjust my prioritization of the time I have, my most precious value? How can I adjust so I give a little bit more loving attention to my purpose and to my work and to my contribution to the world? And when I sort my things, sort my garbage, and I shop, how can I make a little bit more loving choice towards myself, my family, and the environment, and so on and so forth. So wonderful to see someone attending here. It's just a little morning message. So I encourage us to check it out and then experiment like the scientist and record the results. And again, I'm really aware I'm saying something super banal, but I think we need to hear this message ourselves. I need to hear it, and I think many of us need to hear it again and again and again until it sinks in. It's such a simple message, but it's so difficult to get because we are in our heads and we are not enough in our hearts. So we just need to hear it again and again in 1,000 different ways. And thankfully, there's so many people writing about it, singing about it, making talks about it, TED Talks, making presentations in businesses. So many people are in a zillion ways trying to get this message across, but apparently we don't get it yet. So we need to say it one more time. And it really strikes me, women have been so unloved for being so devoted to love. Women have been so suppressed and so ridiculed and been so not honored for their dedication to love. And so if you are a woman, I urge you to honor yourself for your dedication to love. And if you're a man, I urge you to really see what women are so devoted to and what their gift to you is, that their gift to the masculine is love. And that's a precious gift. So to stop dishonoring women's dedication to love, because it's so important that someone stands up for love, and women really do that. Not all women on the planet, but many, 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 many women on the planet stand up for love every second of the day. So it's really time to honor that. That's why the rise of the divine feminine is so urgent at this point. It's so worth really, really supporting and caring for and honoring and making space for in yourself and outside of yourself, because it's what will save the world. I can see you get it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it really strikes me. It's when you think of all the women in the world right now who are caring for their children under horrible circumstances, caring for their men, even though the men don't necessarily honor them, keep choosing love, prioritizing love, putting others before themselves. Hallelujah. So worth honoring. I better stop before I cry so much.